Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, welcome to my new lecture. So, today we will discuss about the effects of combination of drugs. These are the different terms which are used in pharmacology. So, the first one is additions. Addition can be defined as the response elicited or produced by the combined drug that will be equal to the combined response of the individual drug. So, for example, let's suppose one drug is this and this is another drug. So, when they are used in a combinations, so it will definitely the response which is produced by the combined drug. Look at here, these are the combined drugs. So, it will be always equal to the combined response of the individual drug. The second one is synergisms. Synergism can be defined as synergisms whenever we are going to administer two drugs. So, two drugs which have the same effect, so they are given together and it produces a response greater than the sum of their individual response. So, let's suppose for example carbon tetrachloride and ethanols or ethyl alcohol. So, when they are individually, as we know that they are individually toxic to the liver. Carbon tetrachloride and ethanol or ethyl alcohol, so they are individually toxic to the liver, but together they produce much and more liver injury than the sum of their individual effect on the liver. So, this point is clear here. That it means that let's suppose two drugs which have the same effect, which are given together and produce a response greater than the sum of their individual response. The third one is potentiations. Potentiations can be defined as a drug which has no effect increase the effect of the second drug. So, it means that a drug has no effect, it means it is zero. So, it will increase or enhance the effect of the second drug. The third one is antagonism. What is antagonism? So, antagonism is the phenomena and which the drug inhibit or reduce the effect of another drug, is usually the antagonist has no inherent activity. So, this is called antagonisms. So, as we have already discussed in previous lecture that drug may be agonist or drug may be antagonist. So, agonist is a drug which can enhance the biological activity, which can increase the activity of your body, while antagonist it can inhibit or stop the activity of the agonist. So, there is a result of competition is produced. Now, these are the factors which affecting the drug response. What are the factors that affecting the drug response? The first one is pharmacological. So, pharmacological, that is dose and route of administrations. The second one is duration of treatment and co-administration of other drugs. An individual, then we should calculate the age and weight of the person, the gender, either it is male or female, or the pathology, and you can say the diet. These are the factors which can affect the drug response. So, it depends upon the conditions. So, then we can check that the dose and the routes of administration of the drug. So, it should be under considerations, while the duration of treatments, the drug which is given for a certain period of time, and then co-administration of other drug, while these are also the factors. So, individual factor, these are age. So, age can also affect the drug response, as well as the weight of the person, weight of the individual, genders, it may be male or female, or pathology, and diet. So, all these factors should be noticed. Indication and contraindication. So, indication can be indications, a clinical circumstances indicating that the use of the particular intervention would be appropriate. It means clinical indications mean the drug they are suitable to use, and all circumstances in clinical circumstances indicating for the particular intervention would be appropriate. Contraindicated mean that these drugs cannot be used in this condition. It mean clinical indication mean uses of drug. Contraindication mean any condition which renders a particular line of treatment which is improper or undesirable. Let's suppose we can say that tetracycline, it is contraindicated in pregnancy. So, it means that these drugs, so they are contraindicated, contraindications. So, this is undesirable. After that, we will discuss about the adverse drug reaction. What is adverse drug reaction? Adverse drug reaction can be defined. What does the term adverse reaction refer to? So adverse drug reaction, this is actually in simple words, it can be defined as adverse drug reaction. This is the undesirable, unwanted response which is always produced due to overdosings. The first one is adverse drug reaction is a life-threatening response to a drug. The second one is a drug-induced allergy. The third one is harmful, noxious, obnoxious, or unintended, and you can say undesirable response to a drug, and an unpredictable response to the drug. And this is always occur due to overdosing sometimes. So it means that we should use all kinds of medicines, or you can say drugs, with precautions. It's called adverse drug reactions. Adverse drug reactions, it may be in the form of side effects, so it will produce toxicity, and toxicity may be due to overdosings. So it is always due to overdosings. Allergic reaction may be occur due to hypersensitivity reaction, and physical dependency, it means that you are dependent on some drugs, so your body had become dependent on the drug, and then you become unable to perform any activity without the by taking certain medication, and there may be chances of carcinogenic effect. So there are certain drugs which also produce carcinogenic effect. Now, adverse drug reactions, it can be defined like that. Side effects. So adverse drug reactions, these are the terms which are used. So the first one is side effects. So some people, they are asking about side effect. What is so side effect? These are the unavoidable, unintended pharmacodynamic effect that occur at a therapeutic dose. Side effects, actually these are knowns. These are the known effects. These are the known effects. For example, let's suppose we are using different type of drugs and medicines that cause GIT upset, gastrointestinal upsets, in the form of diarrhea, in the form of, you can say, loose motions, nausea, vomiting. So these are the known effects. Let's suppose, for example, dryness of mouth. Dryness of mouth is the side effect of atropine. Mean that after administration of atropine, there may be chances of dryness of the mouth. So it means that side effect, this is the known effect, because after administration of atropine, so the main side effect of atropine is dryness of mouth. Now, what is toxic effect? So toxic effect can be defined as result of excessive pharmacological action of drug due to overdosing or prolonged use. Now, when toxic effect will be occur? Whenever there is excessive pharmacological action of the drug, which is always occur due to overdosage or prolonged use. Let's suppose if a drug is used for a longer period of time, so it will definitely enhance the toxicity. For example, let's suppose hepatic necrosis. Hepatic necrosis occur from the paracetamol overdosing. As we know that paracetamol, it is a drug of choice for the treatment of fevers. Drug of choice for fever, but you will have to maintain the dose. You will have to maintain the dose, and then paracetamol can be used by a person according to the condition of the patients. So let's suppose a paracetamol they become overdose. So as a result of hepatic necrosis occur, liver toxicity will be occur. So this is the toxic effect of the paracetamol. The third one is drug intolerance. Drug intolerance can be defined as the toxic effect of the drug as an individual at therapeutic doses. So what is drug intolerance? Drug intolerance, for example, let's suppose vomitings with a single dose of salicylate, salicylic acid. So sometimes due to a single dose of salicylate, vomiting can be occur. This is called drug intolerance, and this drug intolerance is always occur. This is actually the toxic effect of the drug in an individual at the therapeutic range. After that, drug tolerance. This is drug intolerance. Drug tolerance can be defined as decreased response to the same amount of drug after repeated administration. It means that, let's suppose, after whenever we are using different type of medications continuously for a longer period of times, and we are going to administer it continuously. So due to repetition of that drug, if it is present in how much quantity and how much amount, so it will directly decrease the response. So let's suppose, as we know that you can say benzodiazepine or bromazepam, alprazolam. So for example, a person who is using diazepam, so diazepam, it is available at the dose of 3 milligram, 5 milligram and 10 milligram. So he is using that drug for a certain period of time, but with the passage of time, the person become dependent. So it means now he's going to increase the dose from 3 milligram up to 5 and then 10 milligram. So it means after that, the effect of the pharmacological, you can say the therapeutic effect of 3 milligram, it is equal to 10 milligram, because the body becomes dependent on that drug and we become unable to survive. So drug tolerance, it is always occur due to repeated administration of the drug. As a result of the response of the drug will be reduced. Now what is cross tolerance? Cross tolerance can be defined as tolerance for a drug that develop after administration of different drug. Cross tolerance mean when the drug that is develops after the administration of the different drugs. Tolerance. The next one is tachyphylaxis. Tachyphylaxis, it is always occur, rapidly occurring tolerance to a drugs. One is cumulative effect. Cumulative effect, it is always occurs whenever we are going to increase the effectiveness when the drug is given in several doses, multiple, several doses. Drug dependency. Drug dependent means the patient become accustomed to the drug presence in their body, mean the person become unable to survive and he become dependent on that drug. Idiosyncrasy. Idiosyncrasy can be defined as drug effect unique to an individual. For example, a toxic reaction, an allergic reaction, a reaction peculiar to the patient, and anaphylactic reactions. Idiosyncratic effect, actually this is the unknown effect of the drug. Let's suppose you are going to treat a person, so a person who has diarrhea, and you're using, let's suppose, metronodazoles. And due to let's suppose we are going to treat that person who has diarrhea. So after administrations of metronidazole in multiple drugs, so it may produce any other rare complications which may be occurred, so which is related to the unknown effect with their drug. So drug effect, actually it is unique to individual. It may be in the form of toxic reaction, an allergic reaction, and reaction peculiar to the patient, and anaphylactic reaction. Drug allergy can be defined as immunologically mediated reaction and a symptom unrelated to pharmacodynamic profile of the drug, independent of the dose. For example, penicillin. So there are some people which are allergic to penicillin, so drug allergy is always occurred. So there are some patients, some people which are allergic to drugs. For example, most of the patients, so they are allergic to penicillin. So penicillin, it means that if let's suppose if someone is allergic to penicillin, so then he or she can change the alternate drugs. And drug withdrawal symptom. Drug withdrawal symptoms can be defined as the functional disturbance induced by a drug persists even after offending drug has been withdrawn. So withdrawal symptoms, so sometimes we are using different type of drugs, and due to use of these drugs, so it will induce and produce certain kinds of functional disturbance due to persistent use of drug after offending the drug has been withdrawn. So this is also sometime we are using different type of drug, and functional disturbance may be induced by the drug persistence.